Aryan Khan has been given a clean chit by the Narcotics Control Bureau in the Cordelia cruise drugs case. He's not been named in the charge sheet filed by the agency in this case. NCB DG says errors in the first probe and that it was known that Aryan Khan did not take drugs. This was known from day one. Aryan Khan, the son of Bollywood superstar Shah Rukh Khan, was arrested in connection with the Mumbai cruise drugs case on the second day of October. After several court hearings, lots of drama and 26 long days in custody later, the Bombay High Court granted him bail on the 28th of October. He finally walked out of jail on the 30th of October. It's a clean chit to Aryan Khan, with the NCB coming on record to say that there were errors done by the first probe team led by Sameer Wankhede. Sameer Wankhede has spoken to India Today saying that he doesn't want to comment on this anymore. Remember, he was leading the first probe in this entire case. It was then taken away from him and handed over to another team.
14 लोगों पर ठोस सबूत मिले, अर्थात ठोस सबूत का मतलब है फिजिकल एविडेंस और सर्कमस्टेंशियल एविडेंस, कोरोबोरेटिंग फिजिकल एविडेंस, और साथ ही उन लोगों पर जिन पर चार्जशीट दाखिल नहीं की जा सकी, उसमें जो प्रारंभिक इन्वेस्टिगेशन था उसमें कुछ कमियां थीं और इसके आधार पर यह कहा जा सकता है कि अंततः सफिशिएंट एविडेंस नहीं मिला।
क्या जांच में आगे भी इन लोगों के खिलाफ अगर सबूत मिलने पे तो कोई कार्रवाई की जा सकती है? जो 6 लोग हैं,
किसी भी कांड में चार्जशीट दाखिल करना आखिरी पड़ाव नहीं होता। एक तरह का आखिरी पड़ाव जरूर होता है, लेकिन अगर नया एविडेंस कुछ मिले तो कांड में सप्लीमेंट्री चार्जशीट भी दाखिल हो सकती है, इसकी गुंजाइश रहती है।
हमारे इन्वेस्टिगेशन कंप्लीट होने के बाद हमने आउट ऑफ 20 लोग जिनको हमने अरेस्ट किया था इनिशियल इन्वेस्टिगेशन में, उनमें से 20 में से हमने 14 लोगों के खिलाफ हमारे पास प्रमाण है और उनके खिलाफ हम चार्जशीट कर रहे हैं। बाकी 6 लोगों के खिलाफ हम चार्जशीट नहीं कर रहे हैं, उनके खिलाफ सबूत नहीं है।
जो 6 लोग हैं उनमें आर्यन खान का भी नाम है, तो क्या माना जाए कि चार्जशीट में या उनके खिलाफ एविडेंस नहीं मिले, क्यों उनको चार्जशीट में नहीं शामिल किया गया?
उनके खिलाफ सफिशिएंट एविडेंस प्रमाण नहीं हमें मिले। हमने उनको ये हमारे फाइंडिंग में उनके खिलाफ सफिशिएंट एविडेंस नहीं मिल पाया, इसलिए हम कंप्लेंट नहीं, उनके खिलाफ कंप्लेंट नहीं फाइल कर रहे हैं।
शुरुआती जांच में ऐसा बोला गया था कि जो मेन 6 ही नाम आ रहे थे, जिसमें आर्यन खान का भी नाम था। फिर जब दूसरी टीम ने जांच शुरू की, उसके बाद से जो जांच का जो दिशा है वो बदल गई अचानक से, और ये कहा जाने लगा कि आर्यन खान का इसमें रोल नज़र नहीं आता। तो चार्जशीट क्या वही रिफ्लेक्ट कर रही है जो बाद में दूसरी टीम जाँच कर रही थी, जो सामने आ रहा था?
हमारी इन्वेस्टिगेशन जो रही, SIT, आपको ये पता होगा कि 6 नवंबर 2021 को कॉन्स्टिट्यूट की गई थी, और हमारी जो जांच रही है बिल्कुल एक निष्पक्ष जांच रही है, बिल्कुल ऑब्जेक्टिव हमने काम किया है। और हमने जो प्रिंसिपल एक होता है टच स्टोन ऑफ प्रूफ बियॉन्ड रीजनेबल डाउट, उसको अप्लाई किया है, और इस टच स्टोन पे हमने ये पाया है कि 6 लोगों के खिलाफ हमें सफिशिएंट एविडेंस और प्रमाण नहीं है। तो हमने ये कंक्लूड किया कि हम इनके खिलाफ कंप्लेंट फाइल नहीं करेंगे।
I am very relieved, and I am sure the young man and his father are equally relieved. It was clear to me from day one, when the matter was heard for bail in the High Court, that there was no material against this young man. He was not in possession of any drugs, and there was no reason why he should have been arrested. I think it was a hasty decision in the heat of the moment, but anyway, the truth has prevailed. It's unfortunate that he spent 25 days in jail, but according to me, now the whole chapter should be treated as closed, and one should look to the future, and that's it.
Mustafa Sheikh continues to be with us. Mustafa, also a special inquiry is going to be launched, is what has been said by the Deputy Director of the Narcotics Control Bureau, to look into the role of the first probe team that carried out the investigation with several loopholes in it, is what is being said right now.
Well, of course, the loopholes are, very much out in the open. And the officers are saying from the day one that there was no evidence against Aryan Khan. His medical reports were not done. WhatsApp chats were not related to this case. So there are a lot of questions. And if not this, if I remember correctly, there are around 5 to 10 cases which have been given from Mumbai NCB to the SIT team, and they are one by one investigating these cases. There are 2 superintendents who are transferred out of Mumbai to other places because there was some prima facie evidence found against them. So yes, the questions will also be raised now as to if this character assassination of Aryan Khan and others were done, if there was no evidence against them, why was it done? Whether it was just an oversight as an officer or whether there's some conspiracy behind it. These are things which the NCB will have to investigate and come out clean on. Meanwhile, Nawab Malik's daughter and politicians in Maharashtra are saying that Nawab Malik was right because he was the first person to call out the NCB's corruption. He was the person who brought out the truth of how people who were panchas in this entire case were escorting Aryan Khan. Later, they were also known to extort money from Pooja Dadlani, who is manager of Shah Rukh Khan. So these are things which had come out, which has clearly shown the some oversight and some negligence by the Mumbai NCB, and hence the SIT had come into play. Now the SIT has come out with its charge sheet. It remains to see what action is taken on the officers who were there at that time in Mumbai.
Well, absolutely. It remains to be seen what action is taken, though it's very clear that there were several lapses, is what has been said by the Deputy DG, talking about no medical examination being done. How else, Mustafa, would they prove that Aryan Khan indeed had consumed drugs, isn't it, when this medical examination was not done to begin with?
Well, yes, the point remains is that if you're taking an action of arrest against somebody, there has to be some prima facie proof at that point of time. Even if Aryan Khan had not taken drugs and they were saying he was linked in possession of drugs or buying of drugs, is something which could be proven at a later stage, not just at the cruise where the entire raid has taken place. So these are things which, show that there was something which made the NCB officers at that point of time to arrest Aryan Khan, in fact of not having prima facie evidence against him. So this is something which the NCB is questioning at this point of time. The vigilance team is investigating, and the other teams will also be investigating as to why this must have happened, because this has caused great damage to the NCB as an agency which works against narcotics and against drugs. It has caused their image some kind of a setback, because a very high profile person was arrested. The entire nation reported on it, and it turns out that there was no evidence against him. So this is something which shows them in bad light, and they are trying to inquire and work on it. Back to you.
Well-known actor Shahzad Khan is now joining us. Thank you for your time. How do you react to what has happened vis-a-vis this investigation that was carried out, which the NCB on its own says was faulty to begin with, the manner in which it was done, and the clean sheet given to Aryan Khan today?
Thank you very much for having me on your show. I'm right from the beginning, I was saying that he is innocent and he is being framed, and at last कहते हैं ना, सच परेशान हो सकता है लेकिन वो नहीं, जो सच्चाई थी वो सामने आ गई कि ये इनका कोई वो नहीं था, और वो बात प्रूफ हो गई है. एंड आई एम वेरी हैप्पी. नवाब मलिक साहब से पहले हम बोल रहे थे सारे चैनल्स पे कि आर्यन खान बेगुनाह है, क्योंकि जब उसके टेस्ट नहीं किया गया, उसकी जिस्म पे कुछ मिला नहीं, इट वाज साफ लग रहा था कि उसको फ्रेम किया जा रहा है किसी वजह से, क्या वजह से. उसके बाद नवाब मलिक साहब ने ज्वाइन किया और आहिस्ते आहिस्ते बातें दुनिया के सामने बाहर आती गई, और जो बेगुनाह होता है उसका साथ तो ऊपर वाला कहो, भगवान कहो, अल्लाह कहो, जो भी है ऊपर जो बैठा है, जो निर्दोष का साथ हमेशा देता है. तो इसीलिए अब प्रूफ हो गया है कि जो निर्दोष है वो निर्दोष है, और उनको आप किसी भी हालत में किसी भी तरह आप फ्रेम करिए, किसी भी वो कीजिए, लेकिन ऊपर वाला जिसके साथ है उसका कोई बाल बाका नहीं कर सकता. हम तो यही कहेंगे.
बिल्कुल. शुक्रिया हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए. Aryan Khan is innocent is what the NCP has also said today clearly, that there was no proof against Aryan Khan and 5 others. Remember, in this entire case, 14 others have been charge sheeted by the Narcotics Control Bureau. Our focus continues on the high-profile drug bust case and the clean chit given to Shah Rukh Khan's son. On the other side of this break as well, it's time for a quick commercial break here.